Welcome everyone and welcome to All In All United. Your boys Reem and Nico on the inside, and we're here, Nico, to talk transfers.
Hey, good night, everyone.
Yeah, so now the transfer market is always for a lot of other clubs one of the most interesting, exciting, intriguing times of a football season. Whereas for Man United fans, it's one of the most frustrating, lengthy, long, drawn out. I say frustrating already, Nico.
Yeah.
Hey, watch man. When I tell you, it's one of it'll be hard for Man United fan during transfer windows. Ideally, you would want to get your business done early so you could focus on other things. But for some reason or the other, Man United likes to draw things and drag things down to the wire. And I'm talking to you, Nico, and I remember, so vividly that David Moyes' first season after Ferguson. We linked with Thiago, we linked with Cruz, we linked with Fabregas, we linked with all these players, quality. Deadline day, 11:59 p.m.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? To drag Marwan Fellaini over the line.
Yeah, real panic buy. Real panic buy.
Anyway,
And that's
so
a
guys, well,
Moyes too. Moyes,
yeah,
at the club.
yeah. So, Richard on the inside, hey, good night,
Hey,
man.
Richard, good night.
And we have Rion Gadget Guru Smith. Thanks for joining, my guy.
Good night.
So we're talking transfers, Nico. Right? So, I know we have a couple names jumping up in terms of who we linked with to come in and to go out as well. So which one do you want to do first? You want to do the ins or the outs first?
Do the out, man.
All right, because we had a clear space based on how things.
We gotta clear the locker room to bring in, who we wanna bring in too. So so let me clear some room first.
All right, now we're talking about who we would like to see leave, but before we do that, we'll go on to those where it have reports circulating, because based on reports, right now, Sergio Romero, the goalkeeper, he has been linked to Aston Villa, I think, and a fee has been agreed. I think in around 8 million or 8 to 10 million or something. So it looks as though Sergio Romero is going to Aston Villa, and Chris Smalling as well has been linked, well, heavily linked, and I think it had some agreement from what I read today that he's going back to Roma on a loan to make permanent at the end of the upcoming season. So where's your views on those, Nico?
For Romero, it's an opportunity for him to play. I think it's an opportunity that he deserves also. I think he haven't let us down. It's definitely let me say a decision that could, I wouldn't say affect us because we have Henderson. Was the backup who more or less people talking to get the AR run for his money. But it's somebody that you'll be sad to see leave, in a bit. I think for me the team he's going to is really the concern. I think Aston Villa will really be in a dogfight, for survival. Especially if players like Grealish leave, especially if players like Grealish leaves, the fight they had down at the bottom of the table, I think that could even affect Romero performances and confidence, because I think, going up against it with teams saying, well, don't counting your game as at 3 points and shots coming at you at rates or not, could be denting on your confidence, So I think that is the alarming thing for me in terms of the team he's linked with. If he was linked to, let me say, like even at Everton, Everton, we know Everton was looking for a goalkeeper, with Pickford kind of shaky. I think he'll definitely give Pickford a run, I think definitely being more stable team within the Premier League, not really fighting for survival, but fighting for maybe make a top 6 kind of team, if he was in a top 6 kind of battle team, I think would have been better for him, because you don't want to go into the Premier League fighting for survival now,
Yeah.
so that's the only thing. But again, is an opportunity for him to show his quality that so that even if Aston Villa is not a survivor, a bigger team would come call him because he would have put on some performances during the season that augurs him well to play for a stronger team. So I think that is one that you know yes, it's best for him, but it will kind of look me to see him leave because he did a lot for us.
I
And
had
this,
a, I had to agree with you in terms of what you're saying, in terms of just getting the opportunity to play. Because I mean,
yeah,
at the end of the day, he spent how long he with us? What, 4 years or something like that,
more than that. Since
right? And Van Gaal,
yeah,
right? So it's probably more than that. But the thing about it is, a goalkeeper want to play,
so,
and as you say, if he go to Aston Villa, even though they might be a team that might be fighting relegation next season, at least once he represents himself and show the kind of quality we know he has, then I think if Aston Villa were to get relegated, then a bigger club would have come for him, you know. So I think it's kind of working for him, to get minutes to be playing consistent football because I've not seen any better goalkeeper if he were to go there. And I've seen him subbing to anybody else. We know he had the quality. I mean, but for a club like Man United, boy, to be the number one goalkeeper, I, I don't know if he had that in him. You
right.
know, Rudy saying a good servant to us, but it is what it is. Henderson is here now, so no room for him. I know for sure he isn't a third choice. Yeah, what do you think about that, Nico?
Yeah, excellent analysis. I don't think it's even fair to him being a third choice. So I think that's kudos. I mean, good luck and all the best in future endeavors.
Yeah, yeah. So, what do you think about no, I know we had this discussion before, with having Henderson and De Gea as your two keepers to choose from. Now De Gea on, I mean, even though the wages may not be, with business, so to speak, you
Right.
have De Gea, who's one of the highest paid players as a goalkeeper in the world. Then you have Henderson who signed a new contract and he making close to 120, $130,000 a week. And two of them fighting for one position. And for me, understanding how keepers are, really sub keepers like that, you try to let keepers get good run at games to build confidence, to build that kind of, understanding chemistry with the centre backs. And even though I know the competition will work well, I figure that the one who on the bench could suffer now. Well, I don't know what your thoughts on that is.
Well, my thoughts on that is that the amount of games we're going to play for the season, right? We know for sure the here Champions League, Premier League, right? But then we have a lot of cup games. So we play in a lot of cup games. We going deep into those competitions. So I think there's an opportunity even for Henderson to show his mettle to be a first choice United goalkeeper. I think he will play a lot of games. He may even play more than Romero may have played because had games, let me say, especially on form, right? Got to be on form. There are some games where Oli would have taken out Romero and placed the here, and maybe with his form, he might play those games. So a lot of the competitions, we are going to go deep into those competitions. So definitely, I think he's going to get a lot of games. So yes, he will not be playing week in, week out, but I think when he gets his opportunities, he has to take it. And I think that is as much as he could do.
Well, and I think that's my concern right there because let's look at it like this. It's not like your Premier League is every week, but then now your cup games don't be every week. It will be like every month or every 2 or 3 weeks. So I mean, you're moving from Sheffield where you're playing week in week out. You're getting used to the grind every match day, to having to wait for a cup game, and then now you talk about the Carling Cup and the FA Cup. I mean, the European competition that is an even more important one. So, I mean, how are you going to share it now? For me, it's kind of risky. I don't know.
But the thing about it is now with you having them training more or less on the same field. So even now, the Man United coaches to get better look at him compared to him being at Sheffield. So again, it's still an opportunity for him to show the metal and the quality he has, because you're not expecting him to only show his quality on games. He had to be showing that quality in training first. You know what I mean? So it's really up to him now, because he'll be up front and center at United training, right? Training with the hair, where you could actually compare the both at the same time to really make a, to see how really he's really developing into, maybe after the season, he with this season experience, with the amount of games, maybe from next season, might be this is seeing more, So again, it's up to him, and he had to prove it, as we always say, he had to prove it in training with the best, and really had a grading from there, and then from there, I think that will dictate how many games he actually plays. But you never know, you might even see him in Premier League games or even Champions League games because of the form he's portraying. Yeah.
All right. So, Rudy saying he remembered coming to the end of Ferguson's days, he rotated a lot with De Gea and Lindegaard. All right. But you see, the thing about that, Rudy, is I know Lindegaard had accepted his role now, So, I mean, for me, that was just for me showing some sort of loyalty to Lindegaard, And he's saying maybe it's something similar with Oli and the keepers, but I have reason to believe that Henderson really come to there to get. Yeah, that's exactly it. Because in interviews with Henderson, Nico,
yeah,
he said that he didn't come to be second string. He came to fight to push De Gea, which I don't have a problem with.
Is the mentality?
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, you don't want a keeper with the mentality of, when I come to be second string. No, that's where you need to push De Gea even further.
Then maybe not this upcoming season, but sooner. And we think, well, you see, for me, Dean Henderson wants to play in Euros come summer. So yeah, he gonna need games. So he can't sacrifice the season to be playing 2-3 games every month, every 2-3 months. He need regular football now. So that's something that Oli had to do, yes. Similar said Henderson trying to be England, and exactly. So he needs to be playing week in, week out. And I think, honestly, Nico, I think he is better than Pickford. I think he's better than Pope. So I don't know.
We'll see this season for sure.
Yeah.
If he really performing, I really don't think that we know even Oli has a level of loyalty in terms of the hair, but I think he would really give Henderson the opportunity to shine.
Yeah. Keepers tend to have a longer lifespan in football. Who knows? Maybe we can even get a pretty penny for De Gea. Oh, let's see De Gea today. De Gea was real good today. I don't know if that Henderson comment.
He was good. For the goal though, is that a deflection on the goal?
I don't know. I can't remember.
And that's the
he
thing.
He was flat.
Yeah, that reaction, no reaction now. You know what I mean? At least move now. He moved. So I think, and I told you for me, for Spanish goalkeepers, for some reason, after 30 they just had to go down. But I could be wrong.
Richard saying, I think Henderson gonna prove it this season. I mean, either way, only go benefit the team. So that only headache. I just hope that conundrum don't cause, a breakdown in the team and the chemistry and trying to go forward now, Anyway, we were talking about Nico the outs, and I think Richard had noted some, and I think these are the exact ones that we had on our list, Nico. Rojo, Smalling, Andreas, Jones. You say especially Jones. So let me talk about them, Nico.
Yeah, as I was telling you, Reeves, I never really had anything against Rojo. I always thought he never really gotten a fair shout at United. I always thought that if really given a run of games, he could have definitely improved. I think he could have definitely been better than or he is better than even a David Luiz. I think he's better. There's the opportunity. So, if he goes, but out of all, you say this Smalling Jones, I would rather him stay than a Smalling or a Jones stay. Smalling had a good season, Roma. Again, another player who I had enough of, honestly. So if he's to go Roma and continue his performances and maybe with the England team, play in the Euros, do well, start. I mean, all well and good for him. But I really want to see him play for Manchester United ever again. Um, same, same thing for Jones.
I don't think anybody want to see Jones play for we again.
Yeah, so Jones, it just cannot rely on Jones. Sometimes he will come into the team there, one good performance, and then the next one is total rubbish. So Jones in the same category too. Please do not play for United again. Better we see Mengi and even young Bernard, play centre back for us than to really see Jones now. I think time for them fellas ship sail long time. Them fellas, as we just say, the begging a lodging right now. So Jones, thank you and Baba. I don't know if you wanna talk on those two and then
but here was my thing, right? How them fellas always manage to, they're still here, boy. How?
Yeah, Jones make 10 years now.
Well, I was saying, how you surviving all these transfer markets? Where we sell people like Blin.
English, yeah?
Yeah, we sell Daily Blin.
Yeah.
And Phil Jones still here.
Exactly.
These fellas in Voodoo by Nico. Anyway, but as I say, I'm glad for Smalling. I mean, I think Smalling finding place. It's a certain players. Once you find your place, boy, you go do good and you go look good. It's just some clubs that is not for you, boy. And I think the microscope at Man United, it is affect players different now, boy. Because everything can get scrutinized. And when you look at Smalling game, considering what Ollie want to do in terms of playing from the back, Smalling was never that kind of player. We know that, Nico. In terms of defending, I think Smalling probably better than Lindelof. But
I agree with that.
Yeah, but in terms of controlling the ball and passing proper and trying to bring the ball out of the back, how Smalling you start to wind up to make a pass.
I didn't think about it now.
So let's go Roma, where in Italy, where the football probably a little bit slower. The microscope on you like that. And you can afford to make a little mistake.
It's just about defending.
And it's about defending,
It's not about letting midfielder work. He's not a midfielder, you just defend, let midfielder work.
Yeah. So I'm glad for Smalling. Let him go over there and be Mike Smalling as Van Gaal used to call him. But we well done, buddy. Don't let the door hit you while you leave, Rudy's saying they blend in, or maybe you see, let me tell you one of the problems with players at Man United. I don't know always we problem, Nico, but we always paying these players kind of money that no other club could afford to offer them now. And that is make it hard for them fellas to leave.
I think that is the main sticking point.
Richard saying nobody wants Joan, not even Romero.
As Reem would have said, is the salary they get at Manchester United, they would rather, spend whatever term of the contract, because they don't know what that team really going to pay that money now. So they would stay at United, and then United might well a stopgap now. So here what Jones have 1 year, and with whatever fees you could comfortably pay that and continue now.
Yeah. Simeon saying, has Pereira ever been loaned out? 2 times. How many times? Two or 3 times.
It could have been 3. He went Valencia, he went Zaragoza. Where else he went?
Granada.
Yeah, Granada.
Yeah, Granada. Yeah, he got loaned out a couple of times, Simeon. Richard saying, but why is his contract so long? I don't know, because he renewed when Ollie coming up. Ollie, remember?
Yeah.
He had renewal, and I don't know what Ollie was doing.
No, you see, Ollie was part of the reserve team when Pereira was in the reserve team.
No, I think who Richard talking about? Pereira or Jones?
Yeah.
Pereira. Okay.
Pereira. Right? So Ollie would have been training him while he was coach of the reserve, and maybe for something that would have fit his style now. But the transition from the reserve league to the Premier League is definitely a huge gap that he really couldn't fulfill that. Or Jones. Yeah.
But I agree with you with Pereira, Nico, because I think Pereira talented in it, the man talented in it. But the thing about it, as I said before, for Smalling, I think he had to find he fit, and Man United is not his fit. Even though he wants to think that he good enough.
Right.
I don't think Man United is his fit, but I think the boy talented, and once he find his club, he could do well. That's just my opinion. Anyway, it has some others we had to talk about in terms of
I want to hear your thoughts on Rojo.
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 What Rojo offers in terms of that kind of aggression, is good. But and what gives him a added bonus is he's left-footed, because we don't have much left-footed defenders in the team. The problem with Rojo for me is we can't have two madmen. We had to choose. It's either Bailly or Rojo. One had to go. We can't have two of them.
Yeah, two.
Now we can't have two of them. And the thing about it is the two of them crazy, and the two of them susceptible to injuries because of that, and suspensions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I like Rojo. I agree with you. He just gave something different when he there. But we can't have two.
Right.
So we had to decide whether we were Rojo or we were Bailly. And I think Bailly is the younger one, I guess. Nicholas, welcome on. The man saying the man even have red in his name. And Rojo, yeah. Yeah, man, we cool. Good to have you on the inside, bro. Hey, Davion, welcome. Good to have you, man. Yeah, Nico. So for me, I like Rojo, but we had to decide. We had to choose one. It's either Rojo or taking Rojo or Bailly.
Right.
Davion talking about Upamecano. We go talk about that just now. Very, very good shout. Richard saying, well, once we get rid of the Deadwood, we'll be moving. I agree. We need to get some of them wages off the books, by. Anyway, Nico, so it had others. We were talking about we talk about Pereira. It have Lingard. It have Mata. Because from what I read, I think it's Galatasaray, interested in Mata. And where we know Lingard, I don't know. Where's your view on those two players?
For Mata, I could see him leaving, right? Especially even with the new signing of Van der Beek. Even that signing, I think, will limit Mata playing chances even more. Yes, we know he has a lot to offer. He still had that IQ, that footballing IQ that I think we need at times to break down teams when we struggle. And for some reason, we had our one track, we had our one track zone. I think Mata has the ability to come in and do something and to see something different from the rest. However, I think his game time, even as much as it was reduced last season, which was very much reduced, I think it will be even more reduced this season with Van der Beek coming in. So if he leaves again, I can understand why. Honestly, I don't think we will be losing much. Yes, we know he has that quality and that IQ. I don't think we'll be losing much in losing him. But I think for the team to really move forward, Mata is a player that maybe, could move on also now. And really started bringing that fresh blood and started bringing, other talented players to the team. Hoping that you really get other talented players as the main one who we want. So if we get rid of a Mata and we get the main player who we really want in the attacking sense, then I think it'll be excellent.
But when you think about the reason why Oli would have extended Mata last season for the dressing room, it would seem that he has accepted his role as the kind of experience in the dressing room, that kind of level head. The man won things. He won everything. The man win Champions League. The man win World Cup. The man win Premier League. He win FA Cup. He win everything it had to win. And sometimes there was that kind of winning mentality in the dressing room. So you think we that might be a good case to keep him if he accept the role. I know you say even with Van der Beek coming in, who we will talk about very, very shortly, it might even reduce his playing time even more. But I mean, I just waiting.
Well, if that's the case, you gotta add him to the coaching staff. You know, that will be the next opportunity. You know, the next. You know what I mean? If you want a player like that who, yes, if you'll be done paying his wages already, you know, bring more into the coaching, and even there, I think you have a lot to share now, a lot of experience to share, a lot of knowledge. See with the experience of winning big things, you know, you also have that there to add, you know. So I think if you're really going down that road, then maybe add them to the coaching staff. I don't
I
think
think I
I
think that's
think
a real good show.
yeah, I think you
A
know he
real good show.
true and true. You know, so since he has come to United, you know, I mean, he was all in. You know, I mean, all in United now. You know, so I think if you got to keep him, yeah, that's the way.
Yeah, and I think Nicholas saying, yeah, Mata is the organizer in the dressing room, so it should have been Rooney. But I think Rooney wanted to play football, you
Yeah,
know. Um, and I think Rudy agreeing with you on Mata as well. So that's a good shout, Nico. If he could stick around a couple seasons again, he might pretty well end up on the coaching staff. And you're what that kind of level head too.
yeah.
Um, Rudy's also saying Lingard and Pereira out, and I think we could keep Mata a little one more season.
The player who I think don't mind heard, I know we really fight him this season, the last season. Who I think we can really keep one more season is Lingard. I think for some of the cup games we'll be playing, I think he's definitely one who maybe could give some of the other players a proper rest now. You know how much you will give, you don't know how much you will recover because we know he went through some emotional time the past season. I don't know how much he could recover from that and find back the form. You know, maybe possibly he could. You know, hopefully he could. You know, but I think Oli want him to stick around. I think Oli wants him to stick around. I think he good for the squad in terms of options off the bench in terms of cup games. You know, I think he will really get a option. I think he's a good option to keep. You know, the rest like even for Pereira, Pereira for me out. You know, because I really don't see nothing at all. You know, as you would have said, yes, he's talented. Yes, and I would agree to some point. He has some talent, but I think Lingard will be the more effective one on the day than Pereira. So if I had to pick between Pereira and Lingard, I'll pick Lingard. As bad as it is.
Yeah, yeah. I think that good point you making, Nico. I can't fight on anything there now. Richard saying I think Fred, the Galatasaray interested in Fred, but Mata good for FA Cup. I don't think I read that report that's Galatasaray, but I think that only touched the surface after we got linked with other midfielders. So I don't know
Yeah.
how true that is. You know, and Nicholas saying, say what a little one, Messi Lingard is saying. I hope, watch me, if we could get Messi Lingard this upcoming season, that could be real good enough.
You know?
Because we had the MESSY Lingard last season. Yeah, understand? So, really saying, I just looking at clearing the wage bill to bring in players. Yeah, I think that is part of the plan. You know, we really need to get players who, just making money off that bill. So we could bring in players and pay them properly so they will come now, Anyway, so Nico, I think we covered the outs. You seen any what is called them? The shock sale.
Shock out boy.
Yeah.
We get a proper centre back and Lindelof leave. You know? Maybe that could be a shock. We get a proper centre back and Lindelof. So I think, Barca was talking about they wanted him at some point, and he ended up Barcelona. You know, if you end up Barcelona, you know good you're gonna look, right?
Yeah. We're going to Barca, boy. Anyway, that's talk for next day. That's talk for next day. Watch where. I posted a video on the Man United Trinidad and Tobago supporters thing about this Barca fan. And I sent you the video, Nico. I watched for them different out there by the man cursing Messi by. Why the man cursing, the man crying, Nico. Richard saying, what you all think about the Ortega family buying Manchester? I think that is I'm not sure I heard about it. I don't know if you hear about it, Nico.
Nah, I wasn't
But
following.
I don't think that
There's some things that is just pass street.
yeah,
Some things you
yeah,
just stop and read, and then some things you just pass street. You
yeah.
never that pass street.
Yeah. All right. So, Nicola, we move on to the more positives, y'all,
Right.
and we have, announced or confirmed our first signing of the season. The Dutch midfielder Donny van de Beek. I think that's how they pronounce it. We just pronounce Beek. I don't know, right? Um, how you feeling about that, Nico?
Whew. But again, it always, you know, I mean, relieving to do something in transfer window. You know, to make something happen in transfer window to get those wheels moving. You know, I feel that positive signing. I don't see him as a signing who would maybe break into the team and be a starter from day one. And I see him with that kind of explosive type of player. I see him maybe as a a player that's as you would have rightfully said, a hero type player. No? I could be wrong, earlier. I could be wrong. You know what I mean? But I really don't see him as a real big impact type player. I think what we bring to the team that level of intelligence, I think he has that. I think he can read the game in terms of IQ. I think he has a very good footballing IQ, and coming from Ajax, I mean, you can't break into Ajax team if you don't have proper football IQ. So I think he has that. I think he has a proper work ethic also, which is something that Oli, really wants into the team. Players who really hard working also together with their technical ability. So I think he brings all that to the team, and he know when to make that run into the area. So for me, it's a positive purchase. I think it's a positive purchase in terms of Manchester United going in the right direction. I think it is positive. I think, however, I don't know how much of an impact he's going to make onto the team. Yes, I know he have some clever passes. Yes, he breaks into the area and he would score some timely goals as we would have seen against Chelsea, Spurs. I mean, he really came in and scored some. I mean, and he composed in front of goal. From what I've seen, he really composed in front of goal, which we lacked, especially against Sevilla. I mean, if we really had that composure in front of goal against Sevilla, we would have definitely been to the final, maybe even won the final against Inter Milan. So is a step in a positive direction. How much of a impact he will make on the team, for me, is yet to be seen.
Yeah, I agree with you in terms of the we would expect because we hear Ollie talking about the depth, and he need players, and we saw at the back end of last season, that this particular 11 players got run to the ground, and it's simply because Ollie didn't have the quality of the bench to call upon. And I agree that I'm not seeing where Van de Beek walking into the starting 11 right now. As we say, he could prove us wrong, but as it stands, I do not see him replacing or putting Bruno on the bench. I don't see him putting Pogba on the bench, and he's not a defensive midfielder to really play in the Premier League. Probably in the style of football Ajax used to play, he could have played that position. But in a league where it's more physical and more robust, I can't see him playing that kind of position here. So to say he was bought,
He's right now.
yeah, at least right now, So to say he was purchased to walk into the first team, no. But for what he offers, the drop off, that we were complaining about from before, not going to be that far off now. So I could see him fitting and giving Bruno a rest because he could play number 10. He could also play number 6. So I could see him dropping off and giving Pogba a rest as well. I mean, and, coming in and giving Pogba a rest as well. And they talk about his intelligence. Nico, we know them teams that coming from England, from Holland, that Dutch league, them the teacher, the intelligent aspect, the brain football, you know what I'm saying? So we know fellas coming from Holland, coming with a certain level of footballing IQ. So I know for sure that's going to benefit the team as a whole. However, not so much the starting 11, at least not yet, So I am glad, I am happy to at least see we start to do some work in the transfer market because it was getting frustrating all year. You know what I'm saying? But at least let's hope that this is the start of something that's going to be very much lauded by the fans, and you know, we're going to see more faces coming in and faces that are going to impact the starting 11. You know, Rudy's saying here, he's a little confused because I can't see him starting, but I'm always optimistic about new signings. That's true. I think he could help with breaking down city defenses, and I think Nico had mentioned that because we saw where we lacked that against Sevilla and even Copenhagen, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that he offers because he did say in his interview he likes running into the box. You know, we need that kind of movement in the box as well. Nicholas is saying, Nico, if you see him more of a Herrera type, do you see us changing from playing with a CDM and moving to a box like Herrera was?
Yeah, well, I can see him playing again. I haven't seen much of him to really say, well, all right, I mean, he could play that type of box-to-box game. I think, yes, he has the engine to do that. If all he's going to change his whole philosophy or dynamic of the team to suit that one player, maybe not, but again, we'll be playing so much games that possibly he could end up playing that role, but initially, I don't think Oli would switch that formation, but I think maybe as the games go along and he continues to prove his talent on the training field and even in the games he played, possibly something could happen here.
Yeah. Richard, we lose the ball a lot in midfield, and that kills us and makes Pogba have to keep going back. But Van de Beek will make an impact on retrieving the ball in crucial areas, and he's up Pogba's workload.
Yeah,
I think that's so he say I'm on the Van de Beek train. Yeah, good point, Richard.
And we spoke about that, we spoke about that in terms of the quality in the midfield was definitely increased in terms of ball retention. Because sometimes we just struggle to retain that ball. I think with him in the team, I think that would help in terms of ball retention.
Yeah. Right, Rudy say talking about the squad depth and quality. Right. Nicholas saying to me he's a Pogba / Bruno rotation player. And when we play the low block, it's extra vision and attacking powers. Yeah. And I could see even in a situation where a team actually sit back, we could forego Matic and play Van de Beek, Pogba, and Bruno.
Yeah.
So it's all about having the quality options to call on now. And I think this is where I think we got this signing right. He offers a lot. As we were talking, we gain a box-to-box player, we gain an attacking midfielder. So, and his industry similar to Herrera. So I mean, I think we're heading in the right direction. So we have Van de Beek in the bag. He selected the number 34 now, number 34 to his jersey. Right. We can't stop the Nico. So we linked with some other players. We linked with Jadon Sancho, so we also had to talk about them. We linked with a guy called Sergio Reguilon. I don't know if you all remember him. He played left back for Sevilla in the Europa League. Dayut Upamecano, Davion mentioned him. Thiago Alcantara, as well as now earlier, I even want to drum roll for this one, Joshua King. We will get to that one. We could talk about it last. But talk to me, Nico. How you feel this thing working out? We gain those guys. Who we ain't gain. How you feel it working out?
You talk about Sancho first? You talk about Sancho first?
Let me do Sancho second to last.
All right. Thiago for me would definitely be a dream signing. I think he would definitely complement the team. I think with his style of football and his understanding, his football intelligence, that deep line playmakers type of player, I think he would definitely suit our brand. If we would get him, to me, is a real question mark because we know Liverpool want him, and I'm sure Liverpool want him, because even Keita never really lived up to the billing, so definitely I can see him going to Liverpool, and if he goes to Liverpool football would actually evolve to another level. So let me really hope you don't get there. Let me hope that we get him instead. I don't know how possible. I know we definitely would have the finances to get him. However, for some reason I'm not confident. I'm not confident in him coming to United. However, he would improve the team in a big way. Um, Definitely, even well, I mean, with him there, we don't need Matic, you know what I mean? Honestly, because he would be able to do that work, and even his physicality even has improved immensely from the Barcelona days. You know what I mean? You could see him stand up to the regards at the Premiership. So to me, that would definitely be a no-brainer transfer. However, to see it happening, boy, if I were to rate it, I feel like give it that 30 out of 100, but you know,
True. But then,
yeah.
the report, the latest report. Now, these are just what it's reported. It says that Oli had a conversation with Thiago. And he explained to him because I think Oli had spoken to Van de Beek as well, and Van de Beek confirmed it, right? And they spoke about whatever. Anyway, so what reports are saying is that Oli spoke to Thiago, and the only stumbling block right now, because the fee that Bayern, calling is very reachable. I think 30 million euros, right? So that reachable for the quality of player that Thiago Alcantara is. I think the stumbling block from what I read is the wages. Now I don't know what kind of money he asking for Oli to or for the reports to call it a stumbling block, because we paying 3/4 we team 250 comfortable. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's either Thiago coming to ask for Alexis Sanchez money,
Right.
you understand what I'm saying? Or that report lie.
Okay.
That's how I see it. Because as far as what you saying, Nicole, to which I fully agree with, Thiago walking into a team, and he's the type, as we were talking before, he's the kind of player that's going to walk straight into our starting 11, and our level is going to increase. You understand what I'm saying? In terms of ball retention, passing, controlling the midfield, the kind of calmness in possession, penetrative passes, feet. That man is quality earlier. And that could be a dream. And I think even though Thiago is 29 years old, we could still get a good 2-3 seasons
Cheers. Yeah.
from him.
Easy.
You understand?
Yeah.
And the thing about it, the man is a winner, the man win Champions League, he win Bundesliga, the man is a leader. You understand? So it's so much more you're looking at than just, what he could do in terms of kicking a ball now, boy. The man bringing a mentality to the team. And then when you pair him or you group him with the likes of Pogba and Bruno, listen, if we could get Thiago, I am going to make a bold claim, Nico, that we could even come second in the league horse. You understand? But yeah, right now, that Messi take up in the air now. If Messi comes, I know what's going on right now. But as I said before, I think this should be a deal that's, unless that man asking for Alexis Sanchez money by Nico, then that money shouldn't be a problem to pay that man. But that man coming to really I don't know, boy. I wanted Thiago in the days when Moyes was here, and I think even though he would have been younger then, this more mature Thiago, better.
Like fine wine. Like fine wine.
Fine wine. He aged like fine wine. You understand what I'm saying? So and as I said before, that deep line playmaker with Thiago and his ability to possess the ball, you ain't need nobody to run and skate tackle no and push down nobody to say, well, we want defensive midfielder. We ain't need that.
True.
I get some comments here. Richard saying definitely Thiago, we've been on another level. Even Mason Mount says he couldn't keep up with Alcantara. Simeon is saying, I just want someone to free up Pogba to show how good everyone says he is. If that's a stronger back four or a world-class CDM. Now, this is a very interesting comment Simeon made here. Right? Now, for me, the answer to that is a strong defense, not necessarily a defensive midfielder. Because if you get a strong defense, and you have people in the midfield who could possess the ball, then I think in terms of covering and being able to play the football and release Pogba and let Pogba do his magic, that will work itself out. You know?
You mean a proper CDM, you
Center
mean?
back. No, a proper defender center back.
All right.
Yeah, because you see, for me, if you, and I mean, we go talk about Upamecano just now, but once you get a commanding presence in the back and we see how Upamecano could drive the ball forward, and he's very physical. Once you have players who can now possess the ball in midfield, and as I was saying, then I don't think you need that kind of break up defender. I always say, and I think even in the back end of Sir Alex Ferguson's career, he was moving away from the Roy Keane type of player, and that's why we had the likes of Michael Carrick, you know.
So, but you saying, because from what I hear, I could be wrong, is that we need a stronger centre back, not a stronger central CDM.
Yeah, what he's saying is to release Pogba, do we need a centre defensive midfielder or a centre back?
Right, and you saying centre back?
I say centre back.
See, I see that as a stronger central midfielder. A stronger CDM to me, a stronger CDM with free Pogba.
But I am saying if they have somebody who is able to dictate play from deep, you understand, and possess the ball. Because remember, a CDM to me,
that's a CDM, eh?
No, a deep line playmaker.
Yeah.
No, remember, a deep line playmaker and a CDM, the role, the terms, in essence, for me, the role might be a little bit different. A deep line playmaker is more of a Thiago, in my opinion. A CDM is somebody who are a little more combative, who dare to just break a play and then get Pogba the ball or get Bruno the ball.
Okay, all right. Look at
it. Nicholas is saying, imagine we spend the same 120 for Sancho on a group of players this year and still buy Sancho next year. Seems, yeah, that Sancho thing, we need Sancho now. That's my thing, we need Sancho now. And I'm not buying at all. We don't have enough money to spend on Sancho now. We had a next season, we go get competition. We have a free run at him. So I think we need to take advantage of the fact that we are the only team in for him now and go for it. Good thing, I would love Thiago to come. That experience alone, very good read of the game, definitely. Yeah, Richard saying he would be Sanchez money, you know. Yeah. But I don't think from experience ago will be willing to give anybody that kind of wages. Yeah. That's the only problem. But definitely he worth it. He and Pogba very similar. Yeah, not a bad shout. We could get 4 years from Thiago, easy. Well, once we learn, once Oli rotates him properly, yeah. Oli, Rudy is saying probably the best deep lying player in the game today. Yeah. And you think anybody closer to that than him, Nico?
If you put Tony Cruz in that, don't mind Tony Cruz that kind of central midfielder more, but yeah.
Yeah. I think Thiago had more pretty now, you know.
Tony Cruz is really effective, eh?
Yeah. But I mean, you're getting the little samba with Thiago with the effectiveness, you know. Could say I love the mentality Donny coming with. So I would start from the bottom and work myself up. Yeah, I will say, you know, Rudy saying 90% of games are won and lost in the midfield. Curtis saying Upamecano is by 4.0 with less rash tackles. We go talk about Upamecano just now. Nicholas is saying, aka not Maguire, Mr. Jailbird. Nicholas come with the agenda tonight. All right. Could buy police but can't captain a team. And imagine if week the Iceman Lindelof help a old lady from a teeth. Yeah. Watch me. It's a real comedy with man. And we have a basketball on the inside, Mr. Mark Maurice. Thanks for joining me.
Good night.
So for all the basketball fans, he's saying Raptors won tonight. So Nico, we moving on. So we can all agree. Well, you gave it a 3 out of 10.
You get that higher.
I could say about a 5 out of 10 because
Right. Fair enough.
you did say Liverpool in fame, and I mean when you look at the Liverpool team and where their trajectory is, he might have a greater chance of winning something at Liverpool than at United now, you know. But then again, the next thing is when you watch that midfield, he could still get he could still not play as much as he would might get minutes at Man United. That's my thing. Upamecano Nico.
Right. Um, as you was talking before, when the after the lockdown, Marcus wrong chat, bro. After the lockdown, I looked at some of the games from Leipzig and I was like, this same Upamecano Reams talking about, boy. You know what I mean? The man looks sluggish. The man beating him all over. The man getting a kind of yellow card, stupid yellow card. The man getting a red card. I said, nah, he's not a Premier League quality. You know what I mean? Nah, he ain't looking good at all. But I think it was really that ring roster. You know, I think it was really to really get back into playing and get back that form and get back that coordination. And I think after he did that, after he got that run of games, I think I saw the best of him in the Champions League games recently. You know, I really saw the best of him, and I think he definitely is real quality. I think he would definitely be a step up from what we have right now, right? Especially in terms of the both centre backs. You know, I think what Maguire might have over him is the ability in the air. I think he made to me from the games I've seen, he doesn't look as strong in the air. You know, in terms of getting the ball out, I think Maguire is definitely stronger in the air. But on the ground and in terms of his rhythm the play, his physicality, you know, how he defends, you know, he looks like a proper defender. You know, I think that's something that we really need now. I think he's somebody that we really need right now. You know, so I think if it happens, I think that would suit us down to the core. It will definitely, yeah, I think it will definitely improve Manchester United as a team. You know, and if it could happen, you know, I mean, yes, you know, I mean, yes, it could happen. However, I retain it as a 4 boy. Reams, watch man, I retain it as a 4 that time.
I mean,
This season, for
yeah,
next season, possibly, or this
yeah,
season.
because the thing about it is he renewed his contract with Leipzig a couple months ago, you know, and but the thing about the renewal is before he renewed his contract, his last buyout clause was about 60 million, right? And this renewal here, his buyout clause that will only take effect at the end of the upcoming season will be about 40 something million. So in terms of the chances of getting him, while people would say, well, he just renewed his contract, we ain't gonna get him. I think if we go to them and we say, well, here what's going on, we'll give you 50 million.
Right.
Because you could lose him for less next season.
Right.
Then we could probably get him, you know, with Leipzig looking to make a profit, you know. I mean, that's just how I see it, but I do agree the likelihood of it is slim, it's real slim. But I do think, you know, what he offers, he will definitely add to our team. You know, he is, and Nico, you know, he's somebody that I was watching for quite some time now. You know, and I think if we could get that one, but that could be dreamy, but that could be real dreamy. I think he complementing, he bringing the kind of aggression. I think it's Kurt pointed it out before, Bailly 2.0 or 4.0. You know, if we could get a Bailly without the reckless nature, then we our backline sorted in it. Yeah. And for me, this is what I think Upamecano offering, you know, that kind of aggression, his strength. He could run the ball, he could bring the ball out from the back, he could pass the ball. So it's like we gain a fusion of Bailly and Lindelof in one now, right? You know? But again, the likelihood of that happening is really about how much you say, 4?
Yeah, it's 4.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one. Let's be willing to jump out with some big money to really force Leipzig to think about it now, you know? So, Simeon saying this league was tough last year and will be even harder as everyone's spending money. Can't wait till next year if we want to compete this year. Well, and I think that is talking about waiting for next season to buy Sancho. The mentality of the players we get have to match the expectations of the club. And you say, oh gosh, Maguire. Yeah, I fully agree with what Simeon said, Nick. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, fair enough assessment.
Yeah. Kurt saying I feel Leeds will be that creeper team this year. Yeah. You know what, man? Bielsa is a kind of genius too, but and then remember he's done people men training, eh? Bielsa did the people men training too, so
I ain't seen that. I think they will struggle. I think they will. I think they will struggle.
people thought Sheffield United was going to struggle and it's what happened.
It's true.
Nicholas said we probably won't buy a new centre back until Smalling gone.
Yeah.
Smalling gone. Trust me, Smalling gone. Good saying we're going to buy a CB, but we're not giving Tuanzebe and Mengi a chance. Well, for me, Mengi know his place, so Mengi could get minutes here and there. He not gonna mind, but you see Tuanzebe injury record, Nico. I don't know what's your opinion, but Tuanzebe injury record causing him problems.
I think before Mengi becomes established at United, I think he will end up on loan to prove his worth and his quality. Yes, he looked good, but training him into the fire at United as centre back, starting centre back. In the near future, I don't see that happening. So I think that, you know what I mean, yes, he would train with the team, you know what I mean, learn some of his craft with the team, but I think maybe even next season, I think, you know, I know before the season starts, you know, somebody might take him on loan. You know, so I see him developing on loan first before he comes back into article for Man United, just as Murray Henderson. You know, so we don't want to rush Mengi into, as you would normally say, Reams. You don't want to rush them into the fire, and then when they don't do well, you know, I mean, we castigate them and we say, well, they're not good enough. You know, so let me give him room to develop. I think he's a United player. His quality is United quality. But let me give him room to develop. You know, I mean, if it's a go on loan and show that development and come back as a stronger player, I think that would suit him well. You know.
And I think
to that on Zebi again, as you would have said, injuries. I think he really had a injury hurdle and show that consistency before we really started talking about Tunzebi again.
yeah, and I think one thing, and I'm hoping, you know, the hierarchy and the coaching staff, you know, at the different levels at United, really see how important it is to get them fellas out on loan, for them to get the real kind of experience now, because playing in them reserve league and thing not giving you experience to bring you into the first team now, but to compete at that level, you know. And talking about it, Kurt now bring it up. I like how Chongi going on loan, you know, and that's the kind of experience, that the kind of loan experience them players need. You understand? Because he'll come back better and not and actually competing at a respectable level rather than running and scoring real goals in the reserve league and then coming and, you know, messing down yourself in at the first team level. So I really hope that, especially Mengi, because I see a quality player in there, Nico.
Exactly.
That if they give him, let me say, they keep him with the reserve and the under 23s this season, that next season or even come January, if he really progress, that they game that loan deal to game that kind of exposure and experience now. You know? Richard is saying, but Pau Torres isn't a bad centre back either.
He played today for Spain?
Yeah.
But he looked real composed on the ball, though. I think he looked real composed on the ball. But again, I don't know.
I kind of have a bias for Upamecano now, so I don't really, you know. But I mean, the fact that he's a left-footed centre back is a plus, because if you go and get rid of what's his name, Rojo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna need somebody with a left.
Hey, what is his name? Jeez, you want to for 5 years? What is his name?
Christian Levitt Ghana, loan needed or not? Yeah, them fellas. Well, I think Laird for me could stay. I don't know what Nico think. You can know Nico does watch more at the junior football more. For me, Levitt and Ghana need loan, but for me, I think Led could come and challenge if we don't get a left back, Led could challenge Bissaka.
Right. It was I know Levitt would have played 90 minutes of Wales today in the game that they won. So I guess all the experiences would be very good for him. So I think Levitt is one that we should really keep him close. But he's similar. You would have said alone. You know what I mean for Levitt. I honestly think that Levitt will go on loan. And if Levitt don't go on loan, I think it's because Olivier want him to get first 10 minutes. Because I really think have a player in there also.
Yeah. All right. So watching the time, guys. So we will go straight to the one that we all hoping and we all praying and we all expect that a big club like Man United, who's supposed to be properly run, will go after. I think this will be our marquee signing if we could get it done. And we know he walking straight into this team, and we know he will improve this team. Jadon Sancho, Nico, talk to me.
James, I given you the honor. You know what I mean? I given you the honor to really give us your thoughts on what you think. You know what I mean? But I think you are everything don't pack in terms of the Sancho deal, and I mean I want to explain it to everybody else. I heard it already, so I want the world now to hear. You know what I mean? Your philosophy or your thinking in terms of what really going on with Jadon Sancho.
All right, so guys, I have a theory. Right now, we were expecting, based on reports that were coming out, we were expecting that Sancho would have been done by now. Right? Now, we might come back and I might, had to apologize or say sorry, but I kind of 100% sure that we're getting Sancho. Yeah. No, let me tell you with my theory on this, right? I realize in transfers and thing is a real kind of negotiation. It's a kind of mind games them clubs will be playing with each other. Right? Now, I don't know how many of you will remember that during lockdown, it had an interview on Man United TV with Ollie. And Gary Neville asked him, no, Sky Sports, sorry. And Gary Neville asked Ollie, if Man United going to take advantage of the fact that, because of the impact of COVID, other clubs mightn't have the finances. And Ollie said, yes, we hope to, because we have the resources to go after players that we want. And shortly after that, Ed Woodward had to come out and say in a release that, COVID has hit our club just as it affected everybody else. So we may not be able to take advantage of the market, as Ollie would have alluded to in his interview. Now, this is my theory, guys. Because we know we only need one player, if Man United were to go and just hit Dortmund $120 million straight up front one time, do you know what I would have done to the rest of our transfer business? Every single player that we would have gone for after that move would have cost us inflated prices, and we would not be able to afford players. And let's say, even though we would have wanted, because we are cheap negotiators. They will offer $1 for a player, and we go ask for 25. We go offer 25 cents, right? That's just how we try to do business. So I'm saying it is a strategy that the club employing so that it don't affect our other transfer targets in terms of how teams will value their players. Chances are, if we had done that, then Van de Beek could have cost 50, 60 million. Before Van de Beek, we were looking at Grealish. They wanted 80. If we were going to beat them down and try to get Grealish for cheaper, you think they'd have dropped their price if we pay 120 for Sancho upfront one time here? So my thing is, we're going to pay the 120 for Sancho, whether it's upfront or in installments or however, we're going to pay the money. But so that we could get the other players at reasonable prices, and that fee don't affect the other transfers, we had to get them other players and those other signings done first. And then we go and say, hey, how much are they worth? Here, Sancho coming earlier. And that is my theory, guys. If it's a workout, well, then it's a workout.
Right, guys. For Reeves, in terms of the Jadon Sancho speculation and the Jadon Sancho transfers, for me, definitely. Well, we was hoping we were heard about it from even before that Sancho would have been training from next week with United. I think that was most of us hope that hey, Sancho in the bag. And possibly Sancho is still in the bag. I mean, we'd have heard the sporting director from Dortmund would have said, well, 100% no Sancho is staying, but we heard him say that already. We heard him say that with Dembele, and then Dembele and a Barcelona player. You know,
Aubameyang too, he said the same thing.
so I mean, Reeves could really be onto something. And to me, it makes sense. Definitely players would have been inflated. So if that is the tactic that United is using, I would definitely commend them. Because over the last few seasons we have been getting our eyes dug out, with transfer prices. You know, yeah, so if that is the strategy, I think kudos to them. They really get this one on point, and it's really is a revolution they really seen on that Olina. If there's what going on, it's really a revolution in terms of how the hierarchy thinking also. I think they wouldn't be thinking like that just like that. Because under Mourinho and the rest, you're seeing a kind of gongo approach in terms of our transfers, but now maybe you're seeing transfers done more meticulously, more with a plan, So if that is where they're going, kudos to them. As we were saying before, with Sancho coming into the team definitely, I think that is what we need. That is what we need. I think you'll see a whole different dynamic within the top half of the field. You would definitely see us breaking out. Teams will be they already are afraid of our pace and what we have going forward. Bringing up a player like that would definitely even carry us even on higher levels. Teams will be even more fearful with the kind of trickery and the finish also. Because he has quality on the assist and he scores goals also, and he already have that link with players like Rashford, Greenwood. Well, Greenwood and the England team now, right? So you could really see a real cohesive unit going forward with a Sancho in the team now. So if that could really happen, Reams, that to me would make our season or our transfer season a success. And I really hope that we could really pull this one off and have it signed, sealed, and delivered by the time the season. At least it might be the first game of the season. But 2-3 games in the season, and we have Sancho coming out. Repping for us. I think he will really be a force to reckon with.
And I think the board has always backed Oli, so far from what we've seen. And it's no secret that since last season, Nico, Oli wanted Sancho. And Oli was Sancho's, I mean, Sancho, anyway, Oli wanted Sancho. That was his number one target. So for us to not get him, it was for me when I was thinking about it, it was hard for me to how they wouldn't go for this player. We had the money, So I am confident. I am confident that we're going to get this guy over the line, but we had to get the Airfa business done first. Kurt saying, as much as I want him, if we don't get him, convert that. Nico.
No, go cut. Cut. Next. Oh, you forget to put Dalo on the out list.
Yeah, we forget Dalo. Dalo on the outlet.
Dalo on the out list.
Hey, Kurt, don't do that now. Oh God, you're talking about Mendy and Levitt and them, then they come to talk good fight. Come now, man. Nicholas, and if we get Van de Beek and Sancho, I'm fine with that transfer window. Once we get Sancho, I mean, yeah, but I really like a centre back, and then I go be fairly, pleased. Recent, perhaps the biggest reason for the utter lack of recognition is that unfortunately we don't have a metric of quantifying the contribution he makes in games. He is the best. This is Sancho you're talking about, right? Just confirm that for us now, Rudy, right? Because I mean that's a very very good point you're making there. Nicholas, and I agree with that, Reem. I was thinking the same. Everybody get more, yeah, like transfer fees heavily inflated now, you know. So I mean, let's just hope that my theory or that theory, you know, actually, you know, Simeon saying that makes sense. Yeah. Kurt saying I can agree with Reem there, but if we had a director of football and leave Ed out, we wouldn't be in this kind of mess. Because other clubs had director of football, and I mean, it's something that we say we were going to do, Nico, but I don't know.
Because what would what one doing? What one just picking up everybody easy and
Yeah. Richard saying Greenwood could whisper a little 2 cents into Sancho. Well, I hoping to. I hoping to, and I hoping while Martial and Upamecano on international duty, Martial could do the same. I think Oli want to create a kind of super sub in Mason because Sancho coming with kind of limited playing time. What do you think, Nico?
I think it have opportunities to rest a lot of players with or rotate a lot of players with a player like Sancho coming in. I think even players like Marshall, Rashford, Greenwood could be rotated at any point in time. You know, because Sancho could play anywhere across the forward line. That is the kind of player all you need. You know, so to say Mason with a super sub, I don't think so. You know what I mean? I think you just have room for rotation with the amount of games we have to play. You just had that strength in depth now at most times.
And the what like the versatility about our attacking players is all of them could play across the front line, you know, all. Yeah. You know, and even like when we were looking back at last season, Nico, we would have seen that Rashford wasn't really up to his levels now.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have an option. If we get Sancho, we have an option, you know. So we gotta
if Rashford have an off time, you know what I mean? Yeah, we gotta Rashford all the time. Rashford maybe need a rest. You know?
All right, good. All right. Rudy saying it was Sancho he was talking about. Sancho better than Mbappe, boy. I know that. I know. You're confident, boy. I know.
Confidence.
I know. I think Greenwood's future is central. Yeah, but Greenwood have a lot of learning to do, but definitely. But as I said before, what I think is the fact that all of them could play all the different
really
positions.
Across, yeah.
Yeah, it benefiting we, you know. After that injury, Rush didn't come back. Yeah, and because Oli wanted to, you know, play, he just keep playing him now.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, guys, the quality players that come in go add quality on the bench. You know, if they're coming in on the bench, or they're coming in the first team, the good players that we had in the first team will go on the bench. So you know, we have quality and depth, and that's what we want. You know, so I think we cover everything there, you know, Nico.
Yeah.
You know, guys, we appreciate as usual. You know, your comments. You know, your likes, your shares. You know, because I mean, with you, this thing can be possible. Me and Nicole will be talking to ourselves, you know. So we do appreciate, you know, chatting with you all as well, and you know, reading out your comments and getting your points of view. Right. So we're gonna be back again. You know, the football season is on us. You know, next weekend, the Premier League is going to be back on. I think even though Nico, we won't be back on until the following week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. And I'll give the last comment to Richard. I think this is in response to Rudy. He said Mbappe just have pace and fit, and a fit command better than him.
Nah, man. Oh, God. Nah, man. Oh,
The man scored one goal in a Champions League final.
one goal at a time.
One fella, Anyway, guys, you know, we do appreciate the opinions. You know, I mean, everybody entitled to their own, and we respect that. You know, so let me hope, guys, that we could get Sancho over the line. Let me hope that, you know, Thiago choose Man United.
Yeah.
And let me hope we get a quality centre back, be it Upamecano or even Pau Torres, if you all say he is that good. But let me just hope that Van de Beek is not the last one. You know.
Exactly.
So yes. So as Rudy say, much love, fellas.
Yeah, really good night.
Any closing remarks, Nico?
Yeah, again, as you would have said, I mean, without you guys out there, I mean, sending your messages, I mean, just interacting with us, this would make sense. So, I guess, I mean, continue to like, to share, to send your comments, and continue to give us our love.
Yeah, man. So be reminded that you can go across on Facebook and subscribe. Give it a like. So that we could get that platform going as well, because the videos are here and on YouTube, right? So thanks again, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.